Show here, and I gotta tell you, this intro was way better than my first one. Remember that one, Courtney? It went something like this. It said, "This next guy coming to the stage, I don't know who he is. My friend Randy Peters recommended him, so if he sucks, we're all gonna meet at Randy's house and kick his ass, right? Get up here, Bryan." Like, love coming to you, Kaipa. Such an interesting word. I love the way the old Jewish people say it in Los Angeles. They say, "Ya hypa? Why is you hypa?" Fun city growing up in. Damn, this is a good looking crowd. I'd bang a lot of you. So we can, this is you, Kaipa. I have banged a lot of you. Nice little cougar den over here, little white panther den in the back. Ready to go. Oh yeah, I love Courtney's email too because it explained to all the comedians how to get here, and she was ready to say go up the boulevard, hang a right on California. It's an effing roundabout. I gotta say, I was a little confused by this whole roundabout thing at the end of the boulevard that nobody gives a shit about. I mean, I just envision like the city council meeting where they're like, okay, let's get together with the planners and we're just gonna come up with some way to, create some revenue up at this end of the boulevard. And so they close these doors and they start passing out crayons. Like the big ones, not the adult ones, the big ones. Half the room's eating them. I like red ones. They're like, okay, how are we gonna drum up business for that end of the boulevard? Well, why don't we just slow them down? I'm listening. How do you propose we do that? Make them go in circles? We could have a really good time and fuck with them and make them back into the parking spots, right? Oh. I love this city. So tomorrow's Valentine's Day, so let me be the first to say, you can take down your goddamn Christmas lights now. I guarantee you, everyone in here has one house on the block. They're just like, I can't fucking believe these people. Will they take this shit down? I know what they're thinking. Well, we're gonna put them up again next year. Just do what my dad does and like grab a corner and just make it look like the wind took it. Just hope the neighbors come and be like, oh shit, what happened? Well, you should finish that. It's Valentine's Day. They decided to have a show on Valentine's Day weekend because they knew we comedians weren't doing shit. We're all single. Dating in LA is interesting. It's very different than the Inland Empire. For instance, like out here I can say, I'm a builder, I'm a contractor, and I do stand-up, and the women are like, oh, my dad's a builder, my brother's a builder, but ooh, you do stand-up, ooh, nice. Now out in LA, it's like the polar opposite. I'm like, yeah, I'm a builder. And they're like, ooh, you know how to make things and stuff? And I go, yeah, and I'm also a comedian. Oh, shit. All they hear is, no, great, I'm gonna live with my parents for 5 more years. Slow it down, baby, 5 years, whew. Moving fast. Yeah. Women out here are different, too. Can I just throw this out here, ladies? Can we take it easy on the tattoos? All of y'all, take it easy on the tattoos. Oh my God, I worked out at LA Fitness down in Redlands the other day, and I felt like I was in a prison yard. It's like my goal to like find a girl that's not caked in tattoos. You know, I'm trying to make out what this stuff is. Half of them are just sleek as shit. Like, you can't even make the stuff out. They think I'm checking them out. And I was like, oh, what are you, a big Jackson Pollock fan or something? And women crack me up too. They're like, ooh, I wanted to get something feminine, so I put rhinestones in the handles of the brass knuckles. Nailed it. You nailed it. Over tattoos, man. You ever notice that the people that you know that have the most tattoos are the ones with the least amount of money? How's that work? That stuff's not cheap. It's like $100 an hour for that stuff, you know? And they're always showing something off like, yeah, here, this one took 10 hours. Then everyone gets, you know, starts gathering money for like a beer run, and they're the ones that go give you $5 and be like, hey, get a lot. So I got this piece too. Like, what? Dude, are tattoo parlors taking EBT cards now? Hey, dude, no wonder you're broke. You just injected your rent into your third and fourth layers of your dermis there. Luckily, your parents are cool about the rent, so. I can talk shit about tattoos. I'm in the process of having 3 of them removed right now. 3 big dogs. Serious stuff, man. And people always ask me the same thing. They're like, hey, does it hurt? I'm like, to get shot with a frickin' laser? No, it tickles a little bit, just a little. The worst part is they're picking up like all the hot coffee cart girls and making them into laser technicians, so you don't want to cry like a bitch in front of them. Ends up looking like that scene with Denzel from Glory where he's just like, no, no one has to hold me, you can whip me. And then after about 4 whips, you just see the teardrop go. You doing all right? I'm fine, just hurry up. Serves me right though. Who saw the tribal band going out of style? I did not see that coming. And they came up with fun little names for tattoos like Tramp Stamp. Don't even get me started on the misspelled word. That one cuts deep. I'll always remember the phone call I made to my dad telling him I just blew $6,000 on laser tattoo removal, and all I heard on the other end was yes, you were right. Cool. I hope like all my friends that have kids, I hope the kids grow up fast enough that I can take them for a laser session with me just to really scare the living shit out of them. I'm a bad sleeper, and it's getting progressively worse. I now resort to earplugs, an eye mask, and a mouthpiece. The full trifecta, folks. Like, ladies, if that doesn't spell morning. Imagine waking up next to this. Babe? Little, I know most of the women in this audience are like, hell no. I know you guys are all married, you're over that shit. Those days done come and gone. One could try anyways. Am I the only one one that had to look up what the Knights of Columbus actually are? Before I looked it up on the internet, I thought I should stop by Any Day's Payday and Pawn on 5th Street there and get one of them knight suits. Have you seen those? One of these days, I just want to make it in this world and just have so much money that I'm like, I want all 3 of those suits. I don't even have a place for them, I just want them. Yeah, the dating scene is definitely interesting here. It got really small really fast. And I think that's because everybody had already banged everybody else. Like, by the time I was like a senior in high school, it was already done. Like, you'd be talking to your boys, you'd be like, hey, have you seen Sue lately, huh? They'd be like, oh, dude, make sure you wear a condom. And like 3 other dudes in the group would be like, yeah, if you go hang out with her, I lost my class ring when I was fingering her. Can you get that back from me? Oh, it gets worse. Saddle up, partners. The worst is when it's on the flip side, you're hanging out with a chick, and they're like, oh, you were hanging out with Derek, here's his class ring. Like, you too? Put that shit on a chain. I had to leave. Probably because I was living with my parents still, and I'm not embarrassed about this. I lived at home until I was like 20. And no, I'm not Mexican. Dude, Mexicans will live at home forever. Seriously, I was talking to one dude the other day, I was like, dude, how old are you? He was like, 35? Saving up for your own place? No, it's cheap. If you didn't laugh at that, you either have that 35-year-old Mexican boy living at home, or you are that 35-year-old Mexican boy. I love living with my parents, though. They're cool people. They're real salt of the earth. Just wait for it, guys. Wait for it. They party hard. We have a good old time, man. They have great friends, too. They've had friends for, like, they keep friends forever. My mom's best friend from 1st grade, they still hang out. And the crazy thing is, her husband was like my dad's best friend in high school. And no, this isn't some sort of inbreeding, like, diagram I'm making here. These are separate families here. It is you guys. It is you guys. And it's crazy, because like the older I get, now my mom's friends are hitting on me. You watch it, that box of Franzia gets about halfway, shit gets real. Shit gets real. You know, I used to change your diapers. She's halfway through that bladder of Franzia, guys. My parents are awesome people. The only thing I didn't like about living at home was that I was always under the impression that as married couples progressed in life, they had less sex. I feel like there's a room of people that can attest to this. They're like, that's hit or miss. I walked in on my parents 8 times. 8! You know how much therapy that is? There's like 5 years per walk-in. Be in therapy to the ripe young age of 65 or something. It's hardcore. I'd catch them in weirder and weirder places too. It wasn't like their bedroom. I never knocked on that door, you know? It's like backdraft. You check that door for heat? Swear. I had to carry around a squirt bottle like there were cats. Like, get out of here! I just washed these sheets. This is my room. I dreaded when I would come home from school or work and there were 2 cars in the garage. Like that garage door would open and just be like, coming to the house like I'm expecting a ninja attack or something. I can smell it. There's something going on in here. Every time I'd walk in on him too, my mom would flip out. She'd be like, "Oh my God, don't you knock." I'd be like, "You're in the backyard." This door is glass. That was my favorite lounge chair. Well, you never noticed before. This isn't the first time! I had to do a family reunion up north, and I had to stay with my parents in the same room for 6 nights. 6! Oh boy, every night I'd hear the same thing. Babe. Babe. What? About a little? No, he's right next to us. Kid's got fucking earplugs in. He's got an eye mask. We're good to go. Start hearing smooching on each other, like, like, I'm out of here. Fuck. I was on the balcony. Gross. My dad's like, I hope he tells that story. Let him know I'm still putting it down, right? So, I've come to the realization, I've actually an acceptance that on first appearance, people hate me. Like, people are really hard on me. It's amazing. Like, apparently I have this look that just like I've never had to deal with any bullshit and just life's just a big old slice of pie for me. That's simply not true. I had 2 near-fatal accidents before the age of 20. Yeah, oh, I know, shit gets real somber around this one, but don't worry, it gets lighter. I was in a car accident. I was in a rollover car accident on 10 freeway here, right after Ford Street, westbound. And if you ever want to know if you've been in a bad accident, a good indication is when the EMT guy comes up and goes, "Holy shit. This dude's still alive!" Certainly right, I had to have the lifted truck. We IE people, we love our lifted trucks, right? Yeah. Man, what's the first thing you ask your boy when he shows up with a brand new truck? Hey, how many inches you gonna put on that thing? Huh? Oh man, and everybody looks the same too. That same thing when they got the lifted truck, dude. They're up in there and they got their arm over the steering wheel so the biceps look bigger. Pull into a parking lot, take up 2 spots, fling the door open, and then you just see them try to get out like. Grab my pocket, babe, we're walking. I fell for it. It was a horrible, horrible accident, though. I had defective tires that blew out, and I just rolled across the freeway down an embankment. Messed me all up. Broke every rib on this side, collapsed a lung. I got a hernia in my lower back. I thought hernias go here. Like, no, they go here, and anyone that's had a hernia knows that when you cough, you sneeze, you laugh, like it pops out a little bit. You gotta stuff that thing back in there. So every time I coughed, laughed, or sneezed, I had to hold my back, and for the longest time I had friends who thought I was so flaming gay. Achoo! Unbeknownst to me, I was clueless. I had no clue. I would laugh. That was a fun accident. It was a good time. I tried to find the humor in everything, so. Plus, it was the first time I did like 6 consecutive cartwheels in a row, so. Crazy. Like a year and a half before that accident, I was in this really bad industrial accident. Yeah, my poor mother, right? I was working on this pool building crew, and we were out in the cuddies, out in the middle of nowhere. And I'm working on this piece of machinery that I can't even explain to you how crazy it was. I just call it the mangler. Like this, just imagine whatever that comes to mind right there, just run with that. So I get my hand stuck in this thing, and it basically like ripped 3 of my fingers off of my left hand. Didn't cut them off, like twisted them off. Like, whoa. People always ask me, like, what'd you say? I was like, I said every obscenity known to man. Okay, I was making cuss words up, just combining them together. Mother cunters and all kinds of I was speaking foreign languages, which freaked all the Mexicans out because they were like, oh shit, he knows what we're talking about. It was crazy. I hit an artery too, so I'm just shooting blood. And like every guy I run up to, I'm like, can you help me, help me? And they just look at it and they're like, I turn to another guy, I'm like, dude, you gotta help. Like, dudes are just dropping like flies around me. I'm like, guys, all this safety training we did, it means nothing if you're unconscious. My foreman comes out and he's like, what the hell's going on out here? I'm like, this! And I just shoot the stream of blood towards him and he like did a matrix. Like, I was like, don't pass out, you're the last one here. Call 911, man. And this was back in like 2000, 2001, when cell phones were kind of in their infancy still. And watching this dude try to make a 911 call is like watching a bad Verizon commercial. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? It sounded like this microphone at the very beginning of the show. It was like that. The people were like, I don't know what the hell you need right now. So basically they figured out, they were like, hey, this dude's not gonna make it, he's gonna bleed to death, we'll send a helicopter. I always wanted to ride in a helicopter, guys. Not like this. This looked like something out of the Expendables. You know, they always have to have like a helicopter scene in there for some reason. Like I was so messed up on morphine, too much morphine, man. Like rockers from the 60s would have been like, dude, that's just too much. You can't. Keith Richards would have been like, you can't do that much, man. Relax. Crazy. It took 5 surgeons, took them almost 20 hours, and this is what I got. Yeah, it's cute, right? It's interesting having a hand like this. Like what? The worst part is anytime I wave at anyone, they think I'm threatening them. Oh yeah. The worst part was that I had to, you know. For like 3 years, I was in physical therapy and had to do all these surgeries and all that. And they always tell you, like, whenever you hurt something, like, elevate it above your heart, you know? So I was like, okay, so I always had to walk around like this. Do you know how hard it is to meet women walking around like this? Luckily, I'm from the Inland Empire, and this is a wedding proposal, so. That's not funny, don't laugh at that. It's Valentine's Day, let's not have any domestic abuse, okay? So let those tattoos buzz with excitement tonight. So I heard something on the radio the other day that made me really sad. I heard a Sublime song on an oldies station. I had to pull the car over. I was like, what the hell? This isn't that old. I was in high school when this came out. I am not that old. I was just amazed. I wanted to see like every little old lady's face when they heard the lyrics, and then she pulled out my mushroom tip. And when it came out, it went drip, drip, drip. I didn't know she had the G.I. Joe Kung Fu grip. All right. We'll talk later. Little old ladies don't need to be hearing that shit, that's for sure. Another reason it bothered me is that this this stuff came out on CD, I feel like if something came out on CD, there's no way it can fall into the category of an oldie, right? They've only been around like 30-something years. I miss CDs. Does anybody else actually support CDs anymore? Oh, man. I love how, like nowadays you can't mess with your iPod in your car, you can't shuffle through anything handheld, but it was perfectly legit to jam down the freeway, digging through this huge CD case in your lap. Like, this was perfectly okay, this not so much. People always wanted to borrow CDs too. I hated that. You knew you were never going to see that CD again. Like, dude, you don't even have a CD burner. That's a shit. Go ahead, take it. See you later, Chumbawamba. You guys ever get stuck talking to someone that tells such long stories that they get lost halfway through that son of a bitch? You know what I'm talking. Everybody's got someone that popped into their mind right now, and they're like, "Yeah, saw them at work today." It's crazy. These people always have to salt and pepper their stories with so much detail. They got to tell you where it happened, when it happened, the first and the last name of the people involved in it. It's like, dude, the guy's name is Dallas. I don't need a last name. Yeah. These people, these are professional talkers. They know what they're doing. You know, whenever that break comes, when you know you're going to interject some bullshit reason to walk away from them, they always they box you out with an inflection, and right when it's coming out to the end, all of a sudden they go, and you're When someone talks to me, if I haven't said anything in 2 minutes, I've officially zoned the fuck out. Like, I am not listening to anything you have to say anymore. So I've come up with a remedy for this. And I think that if the whole world adopted this, this would be a much better place. It's very simple. I call it, tell me the ending first. Think about it. Okay, if everybody had to tell you the ending of the story, and then you got to decide whether you wanted to hear that bullshit, imagine it. I can just imagine it. Like, imagine this. Like, one guy goes, "Oh yeah, the house burnt down and the baby lost an arm." You're like, "Whoa, wait a minute. Go back. I am interested." But on the flip side, if the story ended with, "And now I don't eat gluten," save it. I would rather beat off with a handful of sand than listen to that stupid story. Not rude, it's just the truth. We just had the Super Bowl, and sports are kind of going in full swing right now. We got March Madness coming up, right, ladies? A month of basketball. No. Okay. I love the commercials that pop up because you can change it to any channel and there's a game on. And I saw this one that was for people with gambling problems. And it said, "Problem gambling, call this number." I was like, this is a very weak ad campaign. You're not really reaching for these people. So I think you should try something different. I think they should have gone with, "Problem gambling? Bet you won't call this number." Guys, I want to thank you for being such a wonderful audience. I will see you next time.
Keep it going for Bryan. Okay, before we bring up our last, we need to turn this. Is this on? Yes, it is. Okay.